Hi guys, today I want to share another success story with you guys. It's about someone manifesting a huge severance package. It's not my own story, it's just a random story that I read online. If you like this story, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. This would really help with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks a lot. Okay, so like most in this community, I've been studying LOA for years. I, however, have never practiced consistently. So the backstory is that I've been through my fair struggles in life and have overcome a few and not always been using visualization. Most times it was just with having a positive attitude and doing the right thing. My professional background has always compensated well, but it's very stressful. So last year I went out on stress leave and decided that while I was out, I would figure out my true passion and find a way to make money so that I did not have to return to work. Well, during this time, I had also reunited with my on and off again ex, which is now permanently off. Things were going great in the beginning, but then he has always been very money hungry and materialistic. As I mentioned, my company compensated me well and I was given shares of the stocks in the company. While I was on leave, a portion of my stock vested, which gave me over 68K, right? Great, right? That gives me enough savings to really decide what I want to do and become self-employed. That's what I had planned. However, my ex taught me into getting into a few different business ventures that require me to put up the money. And to make a long story short, I was foolish enough to allow that 68K down the drain, I think. Yeah. So down to nothing. It went down to nothing due to high overheads and bad business decisions. Now, I was still receiving disability, but this too was coming to an end and I was about to be at zero income and I had broken up with my ex, so no one was there to help. Not that he was helping that much financially anyway. This put me down in the dumps. How could I be stupid enough to have that much money and lose it that fast? Did I mention that I was in the financial industry? So on top of being broke, I was getting depressed and very disappointed in myself because I knew better, especially since my ex had a history of being unreliable. So here's where it gets good. So here I am with all my bills still in hand, no money left over from my stock, and no disability. One day last week, I was really down in the dumps, and I told myself the next morning that yesterday would be my last day allowing myself to feel that way. I started visualizing. I opted out of trying the ladder exercise because my issue has never been that I didn't believe we could attain all that we desire with the power of our mind. My issue was consistency. So I went straight to manifesting. I started to visualize myself getting 100K. Every night I imagined myself counting 100K, and sometimes I would imagine my kids around me dancing and being silly as I counted it out, but always imagine me counting the money. Last week had made a year that I was out on disability, and remember it was also the period where all of my disability had been exhausted. So I contacted my job and told them that I was ready to return to work because, hey, at least I could get some sort of money coming in if I still had a job. Now I had heard through the work, Now I had heard from work that my role had been replaced like 8 months ago, but the law that governs leaves of absence protect you up until a certain point. And although I had surpassed the protection period, I think my company was afraid of making a poor decision that would possibly put them at risk of a lawsuit. So remember I told them I was returning to work. Right before my return to work day, I got an email from the benefit admin saying they needed time to decide what they wanted to do from a business aspect. So for me not to come in, but I could take PTO until they figure it out. Just like that, I was back on payroll without having to go back to my dreadful job. but still receiving my 150K pay rate. I wasn't sure where they would start to pay me my PTO, but I checked my amount on my payday and had a week's worth of pay because that was the amount of time I had officially been back off of leave. Then just yesterday, I got an email from the HR rep saying that he wanted to discuss my options of coming back to work. I had the call with him today where he tells me that day they filled my role. Duh, I knew that already. But propose this, start doing the math now. They will give me 60 days to find another role within the company while I still remain on payroll. My annual salary is 150, which is 1,500 a month. So 2 months is 25K. Also, I have to add that while you're on leave, it's company policy that your stock stops vesting after 4 months, and that doesn't start back until you return. If they would have chosen to let me go and just give me a severance package, I would have missed a vesting that is scheduled for March 15th. And today, when I checked, it's valued at 45K. He also told me that if after the 60 days, if I did not find a job, which we both know that I won't because the positions available for my skill set are all filled, I will then get a severance package, but then he did not disclose the amount. So let's just do the math so far. 2 months salary is 25K. Today, the value of my stock that's scheduled to vest in is 45K. So I'm already at 60K, and then that doesn't include a severance. I couldn't believe that I was hearing. I should also mention that when I got the email about him wanting to leave a conversation with me, I got a little anxiety and started Googling the laws of firing someone after they came back from leave, and called one of my ex-coworkers who had been fired from the company to get her opinion on what they might do. So she was certain that they would be stupid enough to make the same mistake they did with her. Her words, LOL. She got no severance and was offered nothing. When I realized that I was allowing negative emotions to get the best of me yesterday, I decided to visualize my severance package in my mind that night. I decided that in my mind, my employment end date would be 1st of April because that would be past my vesting time. And I also visualized 60K on the agreement. Remember the maths of my 2 months of salary in stocks? It totals 60K. I did not even realize that part until I was sharing the story with my mom today and almost lost it. So it was like I manifest the 100K and the 60K altogether, changing the narrative of how I was feeling yesterday allowed me to surpass what I asked for. And although I'm not getting the 100K in one lump sum, it's clearly coming to me. I also feel like it's important to mention that due to my depression, I sometimes lack a lot of energy and often fall asleep before I intend to. And this was no different during my visualization. I would jump up and say, damn, I fell asleep and didn't finish my visualization. So I questioned if it would even work because I didn't complete it fully, but obviously it did. And when I decided to change the narrative of how I was feeling yesterday by visualizing how I wanted the call to go today, I fell asleep again. But then I woke up at 5 a.m. to use the restroom and did the visualization then. I fell back asleep until it was time to take my son to school and had a really lucid dream of my car being stolen. I thought for sure that would screw up my visualization, but had the call with HR and got everything and more that I hoped for. So I hope this story helps someone. This is a very inspiring story. If you like this story, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. This would really help me. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.